1. India against infrastructure projects in POK, MEA. This topic will be important under General Studies Paper 2. Agreements involving India and affecting India's interests. Why recently in news? With the US expressing support to Pakistan's efforts to arrange funds for the Dimer-Basher Dam in Gilgit-Baltistan, India raises a red flag. The 4,500 megawatt dam project has been unable to make any headway for want of funds. Pakistan developing low-yield, tactical nuclear weapons to deter an attack from India. Dimer-Basher Dam project. Dimer-Basher Dam is a gravity dam, in the preliminary stages of construction, on the river Indus in Gilgit-Baltistan, Pakistan. Its foundation stone was laid by Prime Minister Yusuf Raza Gilani of Pakistan on the 18th of October 2011, majority funding being provided by Aga Khan Development Network. Upon completion, Dimer-Basher Dam would be the highest roller compacted concrete (RCC) dam in the world. The dam site is situated near a place called Basher in Gilgit-Baltistan's Dimer district, hence the name. Purpose and function of dam. The main purpose of the dam is water storage, irrigation and power generation. Installed capacity of 4,500 megawatts of electricity using environmentally clean hydropower generation. Storage of an extra 8,500,000 acre-feet, 10.5 kilometers cube, of water for Pakistan that would be used for irrigation and drinking. Extend the life of Tabla Dam located downstream by 35 years. Control flood damage by the river Indus downstream during high floods. Reduction of dependence on environmentally damaging thermal power, thus saving environment and foreign exchange. Creation of massive infrastructure leading to overall socio-economic uplift of the area and standard of living of people. What are India's concerns to project? If water pressures become extreme, India may violate the treaty to store water. In a worst-case scenario, anti-India groups in Pakistan could use water as a pretext for launching a terror strike on India, prompting limited, retaliatory military strikes by India inside Pakistan. Pakistan is one of the world's most water-stressed nations, mostly due to mismanagement. The country loses about two-thirds of its available water due to the lack of transmission capacity or poor irrigation techniques. According to a study by Pakistan's Nuclear Institute of Agriculture. China's role in project. Beyond the territorial concerns, the size of the dam means that Pakistan would need to pool money from different institutions to make it a reality. China said that it's a very big project, and the world isn't foolish enough to invest in it. China will invest in those projects which will guarantee quick money and they could execute themselves. But the Asian Development Bank will continue to support the project. 2. Need to check flaws in banking system, Rajan. This topic will be important under General Studies Paper 3. Indian economy and issues relating to planning, mobilization of resources, growth, development and employment. Why recently in news? RBI governor said there is a need to check flaws in the banking system to ensure that defaulters are not let off scot-free. Called for focus in implementation of economic reforms and improving capacity at every level of economy and village. He stressed on the role of government spending in reviving growth, especially because exports are not doing as well as in the past. There are certain aspects like macro stability, human capital, business environment, taxation, judiciary and allocating resources that play a key role in boosting our economy. Need to constitute state-level coordination committees to monitor unregistered and illegal operators with the Chief Secretary, DGP and district collectors in the committees. The banking sector is currently struggling with high non-performing assets, NPAs, non-performing assets. In common parlance, the loans which have become bad loans or such loans whose recovery is not possible are called non-performing assets, NPAs. The issue of non-performing assets, NPAs, in the financial institutions in India has assumed a disturbing dimension. The problem of NPAs, however, is not peculiar to India alone. Countries such as Japan and China are notoriously known for their huge NPAs. Meaning of NPAs. An asset is classified as non-performing asset, NPAs, if dues in the form of principal and interest are not paid by the borrower for a period of 180 days. However, with effect from March 2004, default status has been given to a borrower if dues are not paid for 90 days. If any advance or credit facilities granted by bank to a borrower become non-performing, then the bank will have to treat all the advances, credit facilities granted to that borrower as non-performing, without having any regard to the fact that there may still exist certain advances, credit facilities having performing status. 3. NASA completes key milestone for most powerful rocket. This topic will be important under General Studies Paper 3. Science and Technology and Awareness in the Field of Space Sciences. Why recently in news? NASA's Space Launch System, SLS, will be the most powerful rocket ever built. The first vehicle designed to meet the challenges of the journey to Mars has completed all steps needed to clear a critical design review, CDR. This is the first time in almost 40 years that a NASA human-rated rocket has cleared a CDR. Review gives confidence that they are on the right track for the first flight of SLS and using it to extend permanent human presence into deep space. Critical design reviews for the individual SLS elements of the core stage, boosters and engines were completed successfully as part of this milestone. NASA's Space Launch System, SLS. The Space Launch System, SLS, is an American space shuttle-derived ultra-heavy expendable launch vehicle being designed by NASA. It is the world's most powerful rocket that is launch vehicle system ever created, surpassing NASA's Saturn V. The SLS will launch the Orion Crew and Service Module and may support trips to the International Space Station if necessary. SLS will use the ground operations and launch facilities at NASA's Kennedy Space Center, Florida. 4. New technique to detect magnetic fields inside stars. This topic will be important under General Studies Paper 3. Science and Technology and Awareness in the Field of Space Sciences. Why recently in news? Using a technique similar to medical ultrasound, astrophysicists first time developed a way to determine presence of strong magnetic fields deep inside pulsating giant stars. The researchers used asterismology, a discipline similar to seismology, to track waves traveling through stars in order to determine their inner properties. The technique is analogous to a medical ultrasound, which uses sound waves to image otherwise invisible parts of the human body. The study analyzed data from the Kepler satellite, a space telescope that measures stellar brightness variations with very high precision. When strong magnetic fields present in a star's core, fields can disrupt the propagation of gravity waves, causing some of the waves to lose energy and become trapped within the core. The researchers coined the term magnetic greenhouse effect to describe this phenomenon. Magnetic greenhouse effect. Fuller and his co-authors have coined the term magnetic greenhouse effect to describe this phenomenon, because it works similarly to the greenhouse effect on Earth, in which greenhouse gases in the atmosphere help trap heat from the sun. The trapping of gravity waves inside a red giant causes some of the energy of the star's oscillation to be lost, and the result is a smaller than expected dipole mode. 5. Union government imposes anti-dumping duty on Chinese auto parts. This topic will be important under General Studies Paper 3. Indian Economy and Issues Relating to Taxation. Why recently in news? The Union Finance Ministry has imposed anti-dumping duties on imported Chinese auto parts used in commercial vehicles for a period of 5 years. Decision in this regard was taken following recommendations of the Directorate General of Anti-Dumping and Allied Duties, DGAD. Chinese items like front axle beam and steering knuckles meant for heavy and medium commercial vehicles were imported into India at prices less than even cost of production in domestic market. Anti-dumping duties was also imposed on fully drawn/oriented yarn, spin-drawn yarn and flat yarn of polyester, non-textured, imported from China and Thailand for 5 years. Plain medium-density fiber board of thickness 6 mm and above imported from Malaysia, China, Thailand and Sri Lanka for a period of 5 years. Hexamen used in making of phenolic resins imported from China and the United Arab Emirates, UAE, for 5 years. Anti-dumping duties. It is counter-import measure used by a country under the Multilateral World Trade Organization, WTO, regime to protect its domestic producers and market from below-cost/cheap imports. It varies from product to product and from country to country.